Good afternoon. I'm Professor Anita Collins, and welcome to the Sussex County Community College Spring 2021 Graphic Design Portfolio Review. Today's review marks two firsts in the history of the graphic design department. First, this is the very first time that we are having student presentations being live streamed for viewing by the public. We want to thank Tim O'Connor and his team for making this a reality. Second, this is the first time that all of the graphic design degree programs are being represented. And this is due to the vision and commitment of Sherry Fitzgerald in formulating this department so many years ago. We have 2D graphic design, 3D graphic design, illustration, social media marketing, and new media communications represented. This event is the culmination of 2 years of study at the college toward an associate's degree or certificate of study. And the students had 12 weeks to prepare a portfolio and personal branding system to tell their design story. I want to thank Dean Sherry Fitzgerald, our critics, and guest professors Michael Hughes, Joe Petrocoro, and Christina Davies. And I want to thank Anthony for all his help in making this program even more special every year. And I hope you enjoy the presentation. And I want to turn this over to Professor Anthony for a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out here this evening. I'm really looking forward to all the hard work that you guys have put in to make your presentations this evening. I know that we've had a lot of experience with everyone here, and I really look forward to seeing how your entire college career here at Sussex County Community College comes to the culmination to really find out how well you've developed and where your career paths are going forward. So without further ado, who's our first student?
Just hit accept on the Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ricky Giratano. I am majoring in social media marketing. Today I'll be presenting to you my portfolio via a website. Throughout my entire college experience, I come to realize that social media marketing and graphic design is just something that I've always really been interested in, but it really opened my eyes once I started going through this curriculum. So today I put together a website for you based off of what I've learned in my social media marketing field. The website is called Vibe Designs. The company is Vibe Designs. Vibe is an acronym for Value Best Experiences, because everything in graphic design is an experience. Content creation, everything you see gains an attraction, which also gains an audience, which also brings you people to your business. Scrolling down, my skill set consists of, it's a very detail-oriented person. I create social media posts, website formatting, brochure creation, logo creation, everything basically in the graphic design field and the social media content creation field. My goals are to be working either as a valued team member in the social media field or graphic design field and or a freelancer. I want to be known for what I do. I want people to be like, to know the name, like, oh, I work with Ricky Giratano. He did this for me in my company. As we scroll down, I have an introduction to my portfolio. It consists of projects that go from graphic design and social media creation. I have it separated into 5 different sections. We'll start with the cover art and illustration section. The first 2 things you're going to see is the Mac Miller album cover I created. It was a cover art concept for Mac Miller. Inspiration was the death of Mac Miller. It made me want to create something as a tribute to him. Hand-created art on the front page using typography and for layout design to make it appealing on the eyes. And as you go to the back of the page, it has all of his top hits, my personal favorite hits, I guess, throughout his career up until his last album release after his death. You can go back to the next page. There's a back button at the bottom. Next, we would have advertisements. The first two things you're going to see here, the first one is the Minor Mac album tour, which is correlated with the album release. It would be a tour based off of everything that was seen in that album. He'd be performing all of his top songs inside of that album. It's not a real tour, unfortunately. I wish it was. And scrolling down, we have the Woods, actually an Anthony Franco's advertisement I actually did for the place of work that I work at. My boss reached out to me and asked me just to put something together real quick just to advertise a free slice if you post a review on social media. And below that, we see the Woods Music Festival. It's a completely made-up music festival. Illustrated the trees in the darkness to show that it's a nighttime festival. There's lights in the background. It's a light show, music, and it portrays the destination of where it's supposed to be and when it's going to be. Next, we have print. This is just concepts that I've came up with for print design using Photoshop. This image consists of two separate photos I've taken from two separate locations, merged together to create a poster that you would hang up anywhere you would wish. Below it, it's just sweatshirt designs, also in the company of Vibe, just more photo manipulation and graphic design creation. And the bottom one you see is a creation for the Marshmallow poster contest. It was Adobe was doing a recreation of his helmet. This will be wrapping around the helmet of Marshmallow, and it was just a little something I decided to do on the side to test my abilities with Photoshop. Next, we have some social media posts on the social media side of it. These are posts that I've actually created for the company I'm interning with. It just gives you an idea of the pictures and the content and what I've been using to grab the attention of people that will be looking at the actual content in the social media post. The bottom one is another example of a social media post for a press release from the company that I work for, just to give you ideas of how a social media post will be laid out. These are non-advertised. These are just being put out there for people to like and share, but it's very informative. Everything has a call to action back to the website. This one is an advertised post. It's an ad campaign that was running for a week. It actually got us 400 engagements, and so far, from when I last checked, about 230 new followers. So it was a very good ad campaign that worked out. And after this, we just have my resume and business card. Has been tweaked to match the color scheme of the actual Vibe Design company. This is the resume, everything I've experienced, my majors and my technical proficiencies in graphic design and what I can bring to the table as an employee or as an independent contractor for your company. And then we have our business card, the final version for the company itself. It represents the simplicity for who we are, but at the same time, it's eye-catching and appealing to the eye. It has my name, what I do, ways to contact me, and this will be what I'll be printing out to use as my business card for the company. As for the website's complete. If you go back to the social media page, scroll down. Sorry. At the bottom, there's two websites I've created. The first one is actually the company website I built from scratch for the place I'm interning with. It is completed. It's going to give you an idea of the landing page of what I've created throughout my entire internship here. It's a very fun project to do. It is a very big step up from what the website originally used to be. And then if you go back to the main page, the other website is the one that you're looking at right now, is the Vibe Design's website. 3 pages right now: home, portfolio, and contact. And we use that contact form if you guys are ever interested for me to do any work for you, and that's how you can reach me. And I appreciate everyone listening today, and I can't wait to hear all your feedback. Good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jonathan Browning, and I am a 3D environments artist. Today, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about myself and show you some of my work. I've graduated from a 4-year full-time career and technical education program focusing on architecture, and after this semester, I will have completed the 2-year program here at SCCC for 3D computer arts. Aside from that, I also have a passion for 3D printing. As a 3D environments artist, I primarily focus on still render shots, such as this rendering right here. This is a neighborhood environment, with the focal point being the house on the corner. This look was achieved utilizing a photo manipulation software, Photoshop, after the rendering process by taking 2 renders, one of full detail and one of simple wireframes, and blending them together. As well as post-production work, I've also done studies on different rendering engines. For example, these renders here were done using the rendering engine known as V-Ray. This allowed me to achieve the more realistic glass texture that you can see in the top right, and the more realistic lighting effect that you can see in the bottom rendering there. Now, both of the 2 previous projects were more of a residential design, that is, being the exterior of a house and the interior of a kitchen. As stated earlier, I have a background in architecture. Having this knowledge helps me put 3D models of buildings together in a more realistic manner. This reutilization of an existing structure is a good example of that. Having to be on site for this project and put research into the unique structure of the dome-shaped building. Aside from that, also knowing how to lay out a floor plan for a building helps give me a sense of purpose for the structures within my environments, which would otherwise have been purposeless in design. It is with this knowledge that I hope to better bridge the gap between 3D modelers and structural and civil engineering through the application of architectural and industrial design. A large part of designing environments is prop creation. For example, this render of a cereal aisle in a grocery store. Every one of these cereal boxes is an individual prop that had to be modeled, textured, and placed in the scene. In addition to just placing each box, I added some irregularities to the scene to give it a little bit more life, such as the box that fell on the floor, as you can see in the left-hand rendering. The same idea goes for this redesign of a level from the video game Portal. All the items you see within the scene, from the companion cube to the hydraulic wall panel, had to be modeled, textured, and placed within this scene. Now, although I said I did have a primary focus on still renders, that did not mean I would shy away from animated renders, such as this walkthrough of an interior scene you can see on the bottom right. A walkthrough such as this helps to provide a better visualization of space than is achievable through a still render. In addition to that, this lava parkour level was created utilizing a game engine known as Unreal Engine 4. This animation render had a focus on not just the camera movement, but also the wet feeling texturing of the walls, along with the animated texturing of the lava. I strive to continue to move forward and create more advanced structures, props, and more detailed environment animations in the future. I thank you all today for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed my work.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zach Irizarry, and this will be my final semester here at the Sussex County Community College. I have a certificate in digital arts and illustration, and I have many experience in Adobe programs such as Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, and Premiere Pro. The main programs I used are only Photoshop and Illustrator. I'm interested in drawing a few characters and storytelling. A friend of mine contacted me, wanted his own personal logo for his YouTube channel. He wanted to be talking about cars. So his last name started with King, so I redesigned a crown hovering over his favorite sports car. Here are a few design layouts of t-shirts, phone covers, and mugs. Another friend also wanted me to design his own personal logo. This time it would just be about games. So this is my design process. He sent me a few photos of his favorite colors and his own personal cubicle house logo. I decided to go with House Games, but he notified me that there was already a person with that name, so I got rid of that name and stick with the design of the font. This is the layout of the design with all the colors being used. I even went ahead and designing a full black logo and the other with the gradient with the blues. This is our finalization of the logo. This is my own character I created. His name's Leon. And this is a storyboard about a spaceman nearly hitting an alien monster. This is my own personal logo. I've redesigned the size, and playing around with it, I came up with the final design, as you can see on the bottom. This is my other works on my downtime. I practice with Illustrator with coming up with new logos, and my drawing of Chadwick Boseman. And this is my ink art I did here at the Sussex County Community College. And my business card. Thank you for me talking about it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Vanullen, and I am a 3D generalist, and I specialize in 3D environments, 3D modeling, and as well as animation. And first we'll go over my 3D environment work. And the first one I did here was a lightsaber scene on a lava-filled planet some of you might recognize as Mustafar from the Star Wars franchise. This next one, the underwater scene, I really wanted to create a scene that captured the depth of the ocean floor. And it includes boulders, starfish, and plants, and tons more to fill in the ocean floor. My next one, my dice board scene, I really tried to capture the realism of it all by manipulating the ray tracing and the specular level on the dice for reflectivity. And this next one is my bowling scene. Features just an ordinary bowling ball on a bowling lane, heading for what looks like pins, but if you look close enough, they're actually really Clorox bottles, and it all takes place in outer space. And then my latest scene is a city scene, which is actually really a recreation of the Shibuya, Japan level for Persona 5. And with my character design, the first character I ever made was actually a combination of Bugs Bunny and Superman. And together, you get Super Bunny. And then my next character, I did a humanoid character. And as you see here, it is an anamorphic dog. And the final finished model features a humanoid dog wearing a shirt and pants, posing with a Frisbee in his mouth. And my final sculpture is an interpersonality sculpture that represents me as a person, my hobbies, and my you could see there, my many interests, like the controller and the computer. It all represents me as a person. And I'd like to talk a little bit about my internship. Here at my internship, I worked with 7 other people on our game, Fun Quest. We have it right here, actually. And the thing I worked on was the relic cards here. And the way it functions is you're supposed to guess the name of it, like Blackbeard's Treasure, for instance. And so you get a first hint, like, I have been hidden for 300 years and have not been found. If you guess it right the first time, you accumulate the most points. If you get it wrong again, your points you accumulate decrease until there's no guesses left, and you're just left with 0 points. And now I have a demo reel featuring all of the animated work I've done. And with that, that's the end of my presentation. If you want to contact me for any further questions or inquiries, I have a online portfolio as well as a DeviantArt where you could see everything you saw here and more. Thank you for watching.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittany Curtis, and welcome to my portfolio presentation. Now, for the first presentation, what I originally had was a PowerPoint put together for my portfolio. But if you remember, I mentioned that I wanted to put together a website. So essentially, that is what I did, and it is called digitalmarketartist.com with 3 pages, an About Me, Contact, and a portfolio page. Now, getting into scrolling down a little bit into my website, what is this site? The site that I have created, this is to essentially promote my work and my skills around the world, as well as potentially, make these viewers into potential customers. Scrolling a little bit more down, I have a little bit about me, as well as a link access to my About Me page. Scrolling a little bit more down, I have one of the projects that I have created that I will talk about, as well as access to my portfolio page and a little bit about that. Now going on to my About Me page. So I am 20 years old, and essentially I want to express myself and use these platforms and share my work and share my skills, make it a priority to potentially make customers and build myself from this website. Going a little bit down, so I'm here at County to get my associate's degree in social media marketing, which is why I have created this website here, as well as an internship at High Point Regional High School and working part-time. A little bit more. Talking about my skills, when it comes to internship, I create process boards and doing the projects as well, and also creating Google site pages for them. Now, talking a little bit more about my skills, I do painting and tattoo sketches, as well as business, personal logos, and stationaries. And then I work in Microsoft platforms, as well as social media, advertising, making email campaigns, and making websites, etc. As well as my first draft of my business card, that I would also like to get some feedback on my business card, because I would like to do some changes as well, so if I can get some feedback, please. And then furthering down, I have access to my resume, where you can download or easily scroll through access as well. Now getting into my portfolio page. Talking about a couple of the projects that I have, I'm going to show a little bit about the social media aspects that I do, and then show a little Adobe projects, and then show a couple fine art projects as well. Now, talking about the first project, this is a marketing campaign and marketing plan that I came up with for my website, done with a template. And then the next one, this is an example of an email campaign that I made for just Dyson as an example to show email campaigns that I can create as well. And then that is also the other one as well. And just focusing on images, call to action buttons, layouts, colors, etc. And also another one that I did for Nintendo Switch as well. And then getting into Adobe projects, this one was done in Photoshop, that I created a movie label of a made-up movie where I just mixed together two movies, made one, and made a movie label in Photoshop. And then this one, talking about now getting into Adobe Illustrator, this sign was guerrilla marketing that I created during Christmas themed. And then this one is that I did for a design class that I really enjoy because it's a theater design that I did for the Lorax that I love. And so I also do stationaries, like I said before. So this is an envelope that I created for my stationery. And this is the business card as well that I love, and then the letterhead as well. And then getting into a little bit about fine art, I just want to show a couple. This is a mandala that I created using watercolor and pen and ink. And lastly, this is a red robin that I created as a gift for someone out of acrylic paint. And then scrolling down on my page, I would like to show the Fine Art 2 page that I create for my internship. That, these kids, during this time, these high school students are having so much time, difficult times creating their projects and understanding now that everything is all digitally. So what I do, focusing on the layout, different colors, really focusing on making sure that they understand the project, giving a description of them, weekly discussion questions, focusing on tutorials, and Google Doc accesses for step-by-step processes that I have done as well. And then my last page is my contact page that I would like to show. So please feel free to contact me, follow me, watch me grow, give me any feedback, or scrolling down, you can also fill out a form as well. And thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Miranda Cartagena. I am a graphic design student here. I am in my second year of the 3D computer arts section. I am mostly interested in the graphic design and digital illustration portion as well, and a lot of my work today will be redesigns. I want to begin with one of my favorite pieces. This is a 3D concept for a children's theater poster that I did with the new and improved Alice in Wonderland as a theater act. I also worked on an invitation for a bachelor party that included a lot of different contact information as well as just a funny, catchy phrase for everybody to enjoy. I also worked on logo redesign personally. I began working on taking a black and white photo of just a random design that was unused and unmarked. I colored it and I rebranded it for wine named the Sailor Seas. I also included a lot of its business cards as well as different products that it would sell. Another one that I did with a rebrand was an animal rescue center. I named it the Cat's Corner. I added a catchy phrase. I also put it on a billboard for guerrilla marketing to catch everybody's attention, as well as some of their welcome packaging that they would sell. Another one I did was the Nissan redesign logo. I worked on looking up new trends and everything that was trending, which a lot of it was either just regular colors as well as a matte finish where it's not as shiny. During my course here, I took a Colors for Designers class. During this time, we were contacted by the Census Bureau to come up with a new 2020 Sussex County Census poster. This is also my design process. I have the sketch at the top, which kind of just describes Sussex County, which is mostly known for High Point State Park. In the bottom left corner is the first draft of the poster. I was notified that it was one of the top 5 of 3 classes, though I didn't get chosen. I did end up working a little bit more on the visual presentation portion of it, which is shown in the bigger picture, as well as I also included the New Jersey state bird, American goldfinch. I dabbled a little bit in interior design for a client. I gave them a couple different options, and I had them choose between 2 of their favorites, and I put them in a slide for them to kind of choose which one they best enjoy. And this client also chose the second option. Another project I worked on for a client was this painting, and all they wanted was one of their favorite memories to capture. They wanted a few of the movies that they enjoyed, which includes Toy Story, the movie Up. They also wanted their favorite cartoon character, comic book character, Superboy, as well as their childhood pet and their name. This is my personal logo and all of my stationery packaging, which includes a letterhead, an envelope, and my business card, which I do also have in person if anybody would like one. and this is also my resume. As previously mentioned, I worked with 7 other students on an internship to create a board game. My portion of the internship was to create the board layout as well as working with 2 other students to create the board art. Thank you again for all of your time.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Miguel Camacho. I'm a graphic designer here at SCCC, and I'm on the last leg of my semester here, so I should be graduating soon. And I've always loved how prevalent graphic design is in the world and how much it affects everyday life without people really realizing. But despite my love of graphic design, I've always had a focus on myself for illustration. And after graduation, I'm looking forward to finding freelance work and creating graphical assets for clients, whether it be in person or online. There you go. That's me. And you can go again. All right. So diving in with my early illustration works, the one on the left is a illustration of Shin Yuna from my favorite K-pop band, ITZY. And this was a chance for me to experiment with combining typography and illustration in a way that like flows together. And on the right is a fan art of my Animal Crossing avatar catching a fish. And this was a chance for me to practice fully fleshed out backgrounds. Thank you, Governor. And this one is a digital painting of my friend's cat that I made for him for Christmas. And this was an opportunity for me to draw animals more, like practice that. Next up. And now onto my more original works. The character on the left is a character illustration of my first ever D&D character, Tilla Baudet. She's a tiefling druid who with a Southern Belle personality. And then on the right is 2 characters of mine, and for this drawing, I wanted to accomplish a feeling of intimacy. You could go on. All right, jumping into graphic design. This is an example of advertising design. This is a mock-up poster advertising the Walrus and the Carpenter, which is a fully fictional bar and restaurant. And I wanted to use Photoshop and Illustrator to combine photo-manipulated elements and typography to create a sense of richness and warmth. Next. And then these here are designs for car slaps, which are more weather-resistant stickers that are meant to be stuck onto your car. And these were actually for a design contest on Instagram that was made aware to me by my cousins who are gigantic gearheads, so that makes sense. And we were allowed to submit multiple designs. And on the left are some of the designs that I submitted. But the one on the right is actually the one that got picked for first place. And that was really cool. And they even sent me some physical ones, and my cousins still have them on their cars. Right, so this one is a print design for a brochure and holder for CLEAR, which is a local community program created by Sussex County Police Department, and it focuses on destigmatizing drug addiction and encouraging those in need to reach out to local law enforcement for aid in rehabilitation. And this opportunity arose circa 2019 when the local Newton department reached out to the SCCC design classes for volunteers in helping design advertisements for this program. And out of every class, they liked mine the most. And I was honestly just really happy to be able to use my design work to make an impact in the community in some way. Next. And then now to what I'm doing now for personal projects. In my free time, I work on writing stories and drawing up comics. So the left is a mock-up book cover for a story I wrote about a wayward young mage finding her place in the world. I liked the story so much that I also went on to make several pages of a comic for an event that happened in the story. So that's the first page on the right. We'll go next. And then here's some more. And what I love about comics is you can combine storytelling, typography, and layout all together to make something that looks great and is also cohesive. Next up. And this is kind of the summer I went a little nuts with it. I had several other stories that I designed book layouts for, and I printed them out just for fun, just for myself. All right, next up. And then this is my resume. I am proficient in the Adobe Suite, and I mostly use Procreate, which is an app on the iPad. And even though I'm a graphic designer and illustrator, I can also do a little bit of video editing. All right, thank you for your time.
Hello, I am Jason Dietz. I am majoring in 3D computer arts here at Sussex County Community College, of which this is my last semester. And this is my portfolio. This was my first project in 3D modeling. I decided to recreate the companion cube from the video game Portal. As you can see, I added the cube as well as some backgrounds such as a portrait of Cave Johnson, a major character in Portal 2. In this project I called Toy Box, I experimented with texturing and ray trace, such as making the soccer balls 2 different colors, as well as adding reflective surfaces to the bowling ball, and as well as adding other balls, such as Pokemon balls from Pokemon, wicker balls, and mini golf balls, of which me and my grandfather played a lot. This project evolved over time. Originally, it was a hand blocking out the sun, and then after that, it became a skull with glowing eyes. And once the skull became a bit too robotic, I decided to make it a malfunctioning robot crawling out of a scrap heap with one functioning eye shining light out into the darkness. In this project was to make dice, and I decided one of my favorite games that utilize dice is Dungeons & Dragons. So I added a character sheet, I added player books, I added character maps, I added some stuff in the background, such as a poster in the back, to really liven up the room a little. In this project, I was supposed to make a bottle. Well, I decided, why make one bottle? Well, I can make a couple bottles at different sizes. And at the time, I was really into the orange soda drink Fanta. So I decided an entire fridge with Fanta, as well as build out most of the room, such as the counter and a nice little fridge. Up until this point, I've only done small scenes, only little sections of a room. So for this project, I decided to do a whole entire house. I recreated Link's house from the video game Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This here is the main room, with the kitchen table and dining table and such, and the front door, along with some lights. This here's the bedroom, with the bed, some shield displays, as long as some portraits from the game itself. And finally, here's the front of the house, with its chimney, its shed, and various other items, such as the sign in the front. Now, other than 3D modeling in virtual space, I decided my hand at 3D modeling in real space, such as using clay. So I combined two characters from two shows I grew up with as a kid. Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy, and SpongeBob SquarePants from SpongeBob SquarePants. I combined them into Ed Bob. Other than Ed Bob, I made a character from scratch who I named Hank based off futuristic hazmat suits, as well as a few character designs I thought of myself. Now, this is my demo reel. In it, I fit everything I felt could not be properly displayed in a still image, such as character animations, my first two characters I ever did, as well as some level designs I did over the years. And to finish off, this is my resume. It has all my previous work experience, as well as my contact information. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Xavier Markowitz, and I do go by Xavier. But today we're going to be looking at my portfolio. I mainly focus on brand identity. You're going to see a lot of that within the portfolio itself. Before this was the condensed resume. It's okay. It just highlights my most recent jobs, education, and some awards. This is Dandelions. Has probably been one of the longest projects in the making. It started out as a joke, and now it's probably one of my favorites. I really love this logo, only because it represents like the fierceness of a lion, but with the softness of a flower. And here's a clothing tag. And then this is a mock-up I did. I use a lot of mock-ups within the portfolio. And I believe mock-ups is a great way to show your work and take it away from that canvas, that artboard. Next. This is Blue Line 54. This was made for one of my friends who is part of the force. He uses the blue line because it represents, the movement itself, and 54 represents one of his friends that passed away. With this, he uses it for his social media. He is, I guess, not famous, but, he wants to be really bad. So he made some merch with it and uses it still today. Next. And that's it on a mug, which I thought was a really great way to show it off. This is Thriftfoot Blake. This is another one of my favorites. I really like what I did with the type here, how it's connected, and it just kind of completes it all together. Thriftfoot Blake is a business that takes thrift shopping and lets you do it from the comfort of your own home. My friend Blake goes out, thrifts for you, and posted it online, and you could view her page and on Instagram. Next. That's just the logo displayed on a bag. This is Distant World. Distant World came up from the idea of hearing that Daft Punk will no longer be together. So in memory, I kind of created my own duo, and they are Distant World. Next. This just shows the closer-up image of the vinyl and the record cover. Now, this is new. These are 2 posters, and they're displayed for maybe advertisement or even just post online. Next. And this is just some other concepts for them. Crowded Photography. This is another brand that's actually being used. This is one of my friends. Her name, I don't know why I said, okay. I froze. Crowded Photography. Okay, it's a young photographer whose main thing is to bring light and happiness around her. So she takes a lot of pictures of her friends just having fun or just going out and making a whole day just a little better. Next. Wing Time. This was a rebrand that I took among myself. And I took their old logo. I didn't want to show it because honestly I'm not too happy with it. So I thought I could have some fun and really add my own touch to it. Next. This is a better way to see them. I decided to use little flames in the bottom to indicate the heat levels, along with colors to match the flavors. This is a campaign that I didn't run, but I thought it'd be a good idea to post around time when people were voting. I use Adobe Illustrator and the 3D effect to make a maze and have the word vote pop up. Sunrise. Sunrise is a brand that I created. It's a trendy skateboard brand whose main idea is to get people to go outside and enjoy. Next. This would be one of the skateboard designs. Next. And here's me, Moonlight. I believe that there's always two sides to the story, and with that I created a logo that works both in black and white. There's my business card. Next. And thank you, everyone.
Hello, everybody. My name is William Janader, and this is my 3D modeling and special effects portfolio. I am in my final semester of Sussex County Community College. I have experience in 3D creations, both traditional and digital art, as well as special effects. I will take these skills on my own time, and I will be making a fan film with some friends. For my 3D models, this is a lightsaber from the movie Return of the Jedi, owned by Luke Skywalker. I created this model in case I ever needed a prop for a Star Wars animation. This is a model of Luke Skywalker's hut from the planet of Tatooine. I created this for any case I needed a prop for the background as an Easter egg for any gamed level. This is a 3D model of my OC character, Scott. I created him first by using an A post sketch before using 3D Max to create the final model. Next, I have my 3D environments. This is an environment showcasing my 3D model of a box. This box is the 3D cover of the DVD cover of Revenge of the Sith. The scene showcases the scene between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker on the planet of Mustafar. For my next environment, I'm showcasing planets that I created. The project first began as a 3D texturing of two types of balls, first one being a soccer ball and the next of a golf ball. Furthermore, I then went on to create 6 different planets and the Death Star. For my big major 3D environment, I created my level. This level is based off of the video game Battlefront 2, with the level being Bespin. Each prop here is created by me by hand. I will now showcase my animation / visual effects demo reel that showcases some things I've created that I'm very proud of.
Kenobi, we've got news. Darth Vader, he's up there in the sky on Tatooine. He's over that way. He's going to blow up the moon with the bigger moon. It's a ball, it's a weird moon, it's got a crater in it. And they're like, that's no moon. But I am your guy, and I'm telling you that that is the moon. Now get out there and destroy the moon, Kenobi.
This is my resume, which showcases my contact information, skills, education, and professional summary. Thank you all for listening.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name's Kyle Rorty. I'm going to be completing my associate's degree in graphic design this semester, and I just want to thank the faculty for all this guidance over the last few years, and I really appreciate it. So the homepage really is just, if you scroll down, I've got a brief, a little about me section, and it'll take you to another page describing, where I started in design, and then I have my Instagram feed as well, which just highlights some of my most recent work. And I upload to Instagram pretty often. That's where I put a lot of the projects I become passionate about. Up top, we have the illustration section. And illustration is something that I've been very passionate about all along. Like most of us, I was a big doodler as a child, and it really helped me develop. I've really kind of grown into an illustrative style, I feel, these last couple of years. Well, my illustration style is very clean and simple. I'm proficient in an Adobe Illustrator as well as Procreate. We'll go. Okay. All right. So I got just some small drawings I did. I would print stickers and sell stickers online. I've got just some simple illustrations. mostly with Adobe Illustrator. I did some promotional work for my friend's band, and just some work for my website. I have a pop-up that I believe uses this illustration. And then for advertisements, I did a lot of work with social media marketing. It seems to be a large growing field. So a lot of them are square advertisements, and I try to demonstrate my knowledge of using the grids and white space and color and type. So we have some fan art I did just for a Pabst Blue Ribbon advertisement. For my internship, I did a few Instagram ads for the radio station, WTBQ. And I think there's one more underneath. And then I have some poster designs. I did a poster for the COVID vaccine for some pop-up vaccination clinics. And I really tried to use, strong color and typefaces to get the message across. I did another poster for the radio station, and a poster for the NHL New York Islanders. And then I have a motion graphics section where I just tried to, really dive into After Effects and Premiere and get comfortable with video editing and motion graphics. So they have play buttons, and so I have a loading graphic. This is After Effects. I wanted to make it look a little more techy. Then I have just a pyramid, a little abstract motion graphic. And then I did some informational graphics on different houseplants. This is a little series I'm doing. And then I have my social media icons down at the footer. And I believe up at the top, there's the mail button. And I have my resume as well. There it is. So this is just highlighting some of my experience working in print production and pre-design work. Thank you for all of your help over the last few years, and I appreciate the critique. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You actually need to switch it, because I'm just going to stay on over the phone.
All right, yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaac Yost, and I'm a graphic design student here at Sussex County Community College. While I'm majoring in graphic design, my true passion lies within video editing and motion graphics. A dream career for me would be something like making music videos for famous musicians, working on visual effects for a blockbuster movie, or creating animations for TV shows and advertisements. By practicing my craft every single day for the past 2 years, I can say that I've become a successful video editor and motion designer. I can create smooth video transitions, as well as stylish visual effects and animations. In addition to video editing, I've also become a skilled graphic designer and can create slick designs for posters, business cards, and many other graphical interfaces. Rather than sitting up here talking about myself, I've compiled a demo reel that showcases my best work from the past 2 years, and I will show it to you all now. So my Instagram is where I post a lot of my projects and any upcoming projects I make in the future, I'll post there. So if you want to keep in touch with my work, you can follow me there or on my LinkedIn as well. And if anyone has any need for a motion designer or graphic designer like myself, I have also put my email up on there, and you can also contact me on my Instagram. So thank you.
I'll give you the signal. Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Pays, and I am a designer here to present my graphic design portfolio. First and foremost, I'd like to bring attention to that my main interests in graphic design are brand identity design, packaging design, and SEO keyword optimization. Okay, you can go. At the forefront of my portfolio is actually brand identity design because that is what I want to focus on most of all. So that's heavily incorporated into this. So to start with, this is actually a mock-up logo that I did using Illustrator for, originally it was going to be a farm, but it became a sunflower brand for sunflower seeds. This is actually a personalized logo I did for myself for my art blog, and I used a Photoshop mock-up to demonstrate my ability in Photoshop, and also that, you know, it's very important to have your website accessible. Okay, these are some general design mock-ups for point of sale material, which would be very important for any brand or business. Next up, this is a logo design for an actual brand. It is an Etsy shop online that I did. Again, I used Photoshop to incorporate a tag so you can see what it would look like. It's very niche, I suppose. This is a mock-up for a massage logo. I used Photoshop to demonstrate a signage material. This is a logo I did, also an incorporated point of sales material for a poster, very important. These are two more logos that I did. It's very important that I point this out that I use color theory and color advertising principles in all of my logo designs. You can go. Next up is packaging design. This is a made-up brand that I did, Red Pepper Hot Sauce. You can go. So I created two different labels. Here is a mock-up of what that would look like on a hot sauce bottle. There's a close-up. It's fun. Next up, this was actually for my internship at a coffee company. I was approached and asked to create a Gothic-style coffee label. So this is what we came up with. And I put it on a bag, which is very similar to the products that we use, these pouch bags. The second one is also for my internship. It is a green matcha latte. So I also mocked that up so I could demonstrate what that would look like when we'd sell it. Vector icons, I am first and foremost an illustrator, so it was very important to incorporate my vector icons into this portfolio. These are also very important for branding and website assets. As you can see, there's some coffee ones, some kitchen material ones. Again, an illustrator at heart, so here are some of my digital illustrations to showcase my ability at more detailed and refined art. There's a tiger, a cactus. Again, I just wanted to showcase my ability to create detailed art for posters and other important designs. That is a poster with a quote on it. This one is actually a advertising mock-up for Fanta. I just wanted to show that that's another ability of mine. More digital artwork. This is my personal, yeah, you can keep going. Personal logo, my resume, and my business cards, which I use Photoshop to make a mock-up of. And this just showcases my education and awards and experience. And that's it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ryan Kelly, and I am a 3D modeler and animator. So something about me is, throughout my entire life, I've always been passionate about animation. I've always been inspired by the likes of Pixar and Disney, and I've been studying in 3D computer arts here at SCCC, and I am at my final semester. And I have even found myself on the Dean's List and have found myself in honor societies like Phi Theta Kappa. And after I finish my studies here, I am hoping to continue to expand on my animation career. So the first thing I wanted to present is a personal character of mine. He's kind of the embodiment of myself and my passion for animation. And through the years, I have played with him through various styles and through various mediums. And I also have led to the hope of putting him into animation, which I have already begun with projects like this. Yep. And my hope to put him into animation has reached its next step when it comes to putting him into 3D animation with modeling the character. He's also been rigged and is currently in the process of being animated in a future project of mine. And also through the years, I have done many different 3D modeling studies, for example. And one thing I always made a challenge for myself is when it comes to my 3D modeling studies, I always wanted to present like a scene. Like for example, with this, it is the like of a cereal commercial with Ninja Turtle cereal. I also did a ball study by making a scene of balls in a vortex, and I also played with various shapes and sizes like soccer balls, golf balls, balls with personality, and even a subtle cameo from Mike Wazowski. This is a dice study, and one thing I played with in this scene was I wanted to give the illusion of motion, like someone was rolling the dice onto the craps table. This study was a lighting study, but also a bit of an environmental study, as I took the opportunity to attempt a makeshift version of Andy's room from Toy Story. And I actually got a second chance with my actual environmental study and did a much more in-depth recreation of Andy's room. This is actually based off of the Toy Story 2 room. And for my final section is my actual animation I have done that is in this demo reel. Here's my resume with my skills and my artist statement and my contact info. And thank you for listening.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just clumsy. Nothing we can do about it now. Hi, my name is Margaret. Welcome to my portfolio. Thing. And then this is just a little quote I say to myself, which is, art's the world where we all go to get wander in. So, you know, I've definitely used that in conversations. Next one. So yes, my name is Margaret Palazzolo. I'm an illustration major. It's my last semester here. I discovered during my time here that I actually have a really passion to teach people about art and to talk about people about art and have that like art education conversation. I really do enjoy it and I love doing it. So I wanted to start off talking about my process. This is what inspired me to do what we're about to look at. So this is just like kind of my inspiration. Next is my concept, and this is just like the final concept before I start actually doing the illustration of the comic that I'm working on. And this is just some storyboards and some scene where the framing and characters' final costumes for the scenes that I would be drawing. And then this is the final project. I end up doing orange and a girl about to take new beginnings, due to the fact that I relate to starting to do new beginnings. And then this is just a quick rewrap of that whole idea of, you know, inspiration, concept, and then process. So often enough, my brain takes me into mystical worlds that I can't explain to anyone, so I have to show them to everyone. So I have to draw them. That's what that is. Sorry. I also like to use birthdays and holidays as a way to express people's excitement for art, and it's a great way to share with people like something that you can do and that they may not get to see anytime. The two people right there are actually my grandparents I drew for my grandma's 90th birthday. It's really fun. Halloween is also a very big inspiration to me due to the fact that even with COVID that has gone on this year, there's a lot of old traditional Halloweens that have had a new life. The idea of a plague mask had came back because of COVID and people were walking around with plague masks as masks. And so that's basically the inspiration for this is cultures from the past coming back into now. And I often get, once again, stuck in my head, and I love to show people what I see and how I feel. And that's what these were. I was walking through a woods, and I thought of a fairy, and then this one, my family has a house that looks like the 1970s threw up in it. So that's what that's a reference to. And then I often like to make the ordinary extraordinary. I love the idea of a soda company, just making fun of the fact that soda machines are always out of order. And then I really just wanted to go to a diner on a long trip, so I drew a diner that you would find on a long trip. And then this is actually where I'm going to talk about my portfolio, my internship. I have an internship at a fashion magazine called Volume 2 Up. The point of the internship would be that I would give a prompt, and then I would have 7 days to illustration it. And this is one of them. And this is kind of what it would look like. And that prompt for that one was metamorphosis. And then these two other ones were 2 countries I were given to make prompts for. And then this is just my business card, my resume, and a cute illustration, because why not? Yeah. And now this is how you can contact me. Thank you, guys.
Okay, hello everybody, my name is Lauren Mertrud, and I would like to be an art therapist or a concept artist in the future. A quick little about me before we start. I have depression, anxiety, and ADHD, and all my work is sort of an outlet. All art is an outlet for me to express myself and to help me through dark times. That being said, let's start. So, I love butterflies. I love the species, the shapes and colors of their wings. So I decided to make a humanized sort of fairy version of a butterfly. Next, I always adore the Caribbean and more tropical regions. So this was sort of a nod to that by making a personified version of the country Antigua and Barbuda. For my Cursed Mercy, there's not really a story behind it. It's just something I did that was silly and kind of fun to do. This is more of clothing focused rather than character design. Once again, there's not really a story behind these. It was just something to help me rewind, relax after a stressful day, week, month, year, second, all that stuff. I'm steering away from characters now. I always adored the fantasy style of forest spirits that are represented as deers. Usually they have the floral growth on their antlers. However, I thought, well, what if they were from colder regions, or if they went through the changing of the seasons as well? So I created a more barren, tree-like antlers, as well as the classic warmer regions or the more well-known antlers. These are my tarot cards. I love tarot cards just because you get to see a whole bunch of artists' art, style, the colors they like to use, how they express themselves with the artwork itself. I always see death as sort of mysterious, is there a life after death, all that stuff. So I try to make it like a mysterious kind of swamp. These are my crystal wings, and what I mean by crystal wings is that if crystals were fairies, what kind of wings would they have, what kind of shape, what kind of color? So I went with the colors that, that are most common, of course. There could be other colors. And this ranges from more common known gems like rose quartz and amethyst to more rare gems like a virgin rainbow opal, which is the one all the way onto the right. And the virgin rainbow opal has little specks of, little splashes of color all throughout it. So I tried to encapture that with that piece. And finally, onto my maps. It's almost a D&D or fantasy style map. My enchanted map, the colored one, actually took a couple months for me to create just because I was going through a very, very dark period in my life. And I took my time with it. I actually had like 3 different concepts that I did that I eventually threw out and, completely started over. And this is the final product. Thank you so much for listening. This is my email, my Instagram, and a link to my resume. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Logan Dabowski. Unfortunately, I do not know most of you, which I really wish I had more classes with everyone in this room because you're all insanely talented. This is my graphic design portfolio. I'm a student in new media communications, which is kind of a blend of graphic design, video, website development, and social media. A lot of my passion really began in video. Ever since I was little, I was making videos and movies with my sister and all my friends. So that pretty much is my main focus, which unfortunately I don't really have much in this portfolio of video because I wanted to go more towards the graphic design and what I did at Sussex with this course. So this is my own brand milkshake. It's mainly a soft goods for skateboarding. And the reason I got the name Milkshake was because every single day after school, me and my friends would be so stoked to just get out of class and just go skating. And we'd always go to the Quick Check and grab a bunch of milkshakes. So that kind of became our signature. And what I love about the brand itself is the amount of variety that I could do with it. Think of milkshakes, it's very retro. The 50s classic diner, everyone's got a milkshake. So I got a classic 50s logo there. And then all the different flavors of milkshakes. You got strawberry, cookies and cream. I got a Neapolitan, very good. So there's just so much open doors to do with the brand, and it's a lot of fun as a creative outlet. Going to the logo design, this is a logo I did for an electrician who's a friend of mine. He's in the Toms River, Asbury Park area. He approached me in need of a logo. He saw what I was doing at school, and I am very thankful he just hit me up to do it because it gave me an opportunity to do something for the real world. And the logo at the top right is D3. It's my own personal branding, D3 Media. D for Dabowski, and I specialize in photo, video, and graphic design. And then this was a small logo I did for a friend at the college who was doing a basketball video. So he didn't end up using it, but I thought it was nice to have a challenge and put something together for him. This is my business card, D3 Media, and it includes a QR code to my website. There's a mock-up there. This is a movie poster that I did for a Becky's Drive-In. It's in Walnutport, Pennsylvania. It's I didn't do it for them, I did it for a project, but it was a fun design to put together, just showcasing, kind of bringing the whole drive-in movie theater experience onto one page. This was a album cover redesign of Radiohead's Pablo Honey. I tried to make it very different from and very more simplistic than the original album cover, if you know what it is, and tried to really bring the colors of what you hear in Honey and a flower and put it all together on one page. This is a 3D design. I don't typically do much in 3D, but it's a lot of fun to mess around with. And this is something I did in Dreamweaver, just messing around with textures and shadings. And Simple Clothing is actually my buddy's clothing brand that he has, and we are kind of married the two together for a collaboration and a full-length skate video. So this is just a poster I put together for that. And this is a comic book cover of I've been drawing this character probably since second grade. Pizza was my favorite food, still pretty good. And Pizza Man was kind of my little doodle I would do all the time. So it was fun to kind of take the stuff I learned at Sussex and really put together this character in a more professional looking way. And this was a fun one. Me and my buddies are in a hockey tournament this coming summer. And our team name is the Miller Low Lifes, because our favorite after beer after a game is Miller High Lifes. So this is a little jersey concept we're going to be rocking. And there's the logo fully embossed. And this is a little motion graphic I put together for my buddy's YouTube channel. Unfortunately, this doesn't have the sound with it, but it was a little intro he uses for his YouTube. He does a lot of car builds and such. And this is my own infographic, which also does not have audio, unfortunately, but just something to throw up there. And this is my resume. If you want to take binoculars, you can probably read it. It just has a lot of what I specialize in After Effects, Premiere, Illustrator, and just some experiences. And that's it.
That concludes our presentations for this evening for the graphic arts portfolio. I am so delighted and proud of all of you in the work that you have done. I'm very, very impressed with the students who really took to heart the critiques that were given during the dress rehearsal and incorporated those changes into tonight's presentation. It really made an impact and a difference. So I'm very proud of you. And Professor would you like to make any comments?
I would like to echo virtually everything that Professor Collins had just mentioned, but also just to congratulate you all on a job well done. Each and every one of you has presented very well this evening. All of your artwork, I can see a huge improvement from, at least from my students, from where you started to where you are today, and also from the graphic designers, just from the past couple of weeks when we had the initial dress rehearsal till tonight. It's been a great journey, and it's been a blessing to see each and every one of you, sorry, I need something to drink, but each and every one of you to blossom as artists as you currently are.
So thank you. We will be working with Tim O'Connor to get a copy of tonight's recording, and we will email that to you so that you can see it and view it and share it and learn from it. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening, and good luck with the rest of the semester. Thank you.